Well, hello, the most intelligent listeners in the world. All right, these gears have been grinding on the courts, how we bring our cases forward, um, and my red pill moments just a little over 2 years. My learning curve is just a little over 2 years. I have been educating and whistleblowing and et cetera, and sharing my intellectual property for a couple of years. And more, the pieces start to fit together. So you're going to hear a lot of bullshit. This is a war, an information war. So it's full of misinformation, disinformation, misdirection, and tricks and traps. And if it's overly complicated, you're in the wrong rabbit hole, in my opinion, because this stuff can all be stupidly simple. And when it's stupidly simple, you can own it. So I've talked a lot about court, how I've held court, court of law, court of record, open, public court, high court, how you can be prosecutor, that's unalienable right that was once constitutionally protected. So that right does not come from the Constitution. It's unalienable, and it was once constitutionally protected. This is all verifiable for you. All right. Look at 48 love letters in the documents section on the services page. And it's a Word document. There's 48 state constitutions there. I got the oldest ones I could find as I was putting that together at the time. So there is bastardization in those. However, there's a ton that could not be bastardized. All right. And so to know you have the right to prosecute, that means you can hold a man to account. That includes your public servants. That includes British agents. That includes enemy of the people. All right. So, any questions? Because I've read it out to you many times. If you got questions, now it's time for you to go and verify for yourself. All right. There's 3 states that I could find, 3 state constitutions that specifically spell out your unalienable right to the courts as prosecutor. So it's just that simple. It's cheap as free. There's no subscription. There's no membership. There's no nothing. Just go to the website. You can always find the address in the description of the video. Going forward, all my videos are going to have a link to when should you shoot a cop. Everybody needs to know this, including the cops. So then you're gonna get into hearing about quantum grammar, and this is disqualified, and that's disqualified, and this is disqualified. Well, all right, back up. Just back up and think about this. Can you disqualify the truth? Now, disqualify is babble. So I think I'm not a quantum. I'm not the syntax guy. I'm own your contract guy. um, and own your authority and be sovereign and be a whistleblower and shine light on the dark. So you get it backed up now, right? Disqualifying the quantum, I think you're going to bracket the DIS and then maybe a hyphen and then qualify. So all this talk about disqualifying, you're going to hear, oh, your paperwork's disqualified. It's not bonded. You didn't put a stamp on it. Yeah, you didn't put a quantum autograph on. Look, fuck that. Did you document evidence? Did you document evidence? Did you bring a claim? All right. It's not your fault that you've been dumbed down. It's not your fault you've been brainwashed. It's not your fault that a system has been set up in place that is so corrupt and so diabolical and such a huge, nasty spider web that it's almost impossible to navigate in. In fact, it is. That's why you don't belong there. And once you know it has no jurisdiction over you, well, then you're going to stop filing shit into it because it's a fraud. Okay. I think there's a lot of you red-pilled enough to understand it's a fraud. But yet, oh, money, my QVC account, I can get money. I'll study the administrative process. And then I'll file this paperwork into that fraudulent system to get my money because there's millions of dollars there. All right. Back the fuck up. There ain't no money. The whole damn thing is a fraud. Don't participate in it. Remove yourself from it. For accountability, you drag those parasites into your court. I know your building's gone, your system's gone, your enforcement's gone. I didn't say enforcement, I said forcement. Enforcement would be no enforcement in the quantum. I'm talking to you in Babel, all right? So, all right, let's back up again. We keep this stupidly simple. Can the truth be qualified? Aha. Can truth be, I'm a babble, so we can communicate? Can the truth be disqualified? No. See, that is, or that was, one of the beauties of the maxims of law. Have you studied the maxims of law? You can read them. You can scroll through my old videos and look for the titles about maxims of law, and they're read and they're discussed and the like. The beauty of maxims of law, as I said, is or was, is they never change. That's why they're maxims. However, I think getting into quantum grammar, they need to be quantified. Now, I hear a lot of constitutions have been quantified, that there's a unity states constitution and maybe unity state constitutions, unity state constitutions, like for each individual nation state. In a unity states constitution is a constitution for nation of nations. Where is it? Maybe at the Benjamin Franklin. I don't know why it's not stupidly simple to get our hands on it. All right. We hear about the King James Bible being Babel, and that it was syntaxed, and that the when Russell arrived at the Vatican, when Russell arrived at the Vatican, the nuns were openly discussing it with him, and quite intrigued with the work. So here's the thing: a tyrant is oppressing you, trespassing upon your rights, hurting your loved ones. And you do Article 3 court. I can now bring enough forward with the quantum that you can easily upgrade that paperwork into the quantum without syntaxing. Because as I understand it, per Russell's instructions, if you can't syntax, bracket it. However, if you are providing evidence, proof, remember, I'm speaking in Babel. You're providing evidence, you're providing proof in Babel, documenting it in Babel, menting it in Babel. You cannot qualify the truth. Now, has it ever been a point in history that the dumb, well, dumb, deaf and dumb, right? I mean, the stupid, the ignorant, the unaware don't have a right to day in court because they can't read and write, because they ain't got a certain level of a sophisticated societal education. They don't have their rights. Think about it. Back the fuck up. There was a time your word was your bond. Your mark, whatever that, an X, the way you write it. How many ways can you write an X? A lot of different ways. your mark. You own it. You can't read and write. You know right from wrong. You have testimony. You're there to give testimony and declare, make declarations, to make complaints, to be the claimant. You can't disqualify that simply because you don't know quantum grammar, or you can't read or write, or you brought your stuff forward at this time. There's no expiration date to fraud, people. So I have not heard of the maxims of law being quantified. And so there, one of the ones that I talk about quite often is for a man to not know his everyday job is a deceit. Now, maybe deceit is babble. And so I've been trying to, in my head, and of course, only like cursory syntax ability just from some observations, just from some simple observations and a little bit of critical thinking. I think I'm on the right track. So let's see. For an everyday man. And I think for quantum, that would change to for the man. And then we have to get the rest of it into quantum. So I do see a need to bring the maxims of law, which up until quantum were maxims because they never change. So it's truth, people. It's truth. Truth, law, and order. And they have built a system of chaos and corruption, and they got the insane running the insane asylum, and they employ the dumbest of the dumb in a lot of cases, and they teach them to be oppressors, brutal oppressors. Now, you can follow the fear mongers. You can follow the hold the wine, hold the line, hold the wine, guys. You can just be a treasonous piece of shit and keep doing administrative crap, keep putting administrative crap in there and being part of the treason, being part of the fraud. Or you can just own your fucking authority. Know who the fuck you are. And know that you cannot disqualify the truth. So every day we keep gaining more knowledge. Every day we keep getting more powerful. And truly, where we go one, we go all. In a sense, for the living. Okay. I found it very interesting listening to DJ. You know, he talks real fast. Derek Johnson. I'll just for the rest of this video, if I say any more about him, I'll refer to him as DJ. So I'm listening to DJ talking, and he talks pretty fast at times, and he'll do the T-Man thing too, where he'll be, here, and then zip, it doesn't miss a beat, but he's not on this line anymore. He's like skipped up, jumping around the corner, and he's over here, and that was kind of what happened when he was talking about warriors, soldiers, and how soldiers, military, respect and communicate with each other, and they have certain things they say that they understand, and have as a special meaning to them. And when I heard him say something to the effect, I'll be paraphrasing this, except for the main line, the main place, and it's like something to the effect, soldier to a soldier, and maybe it's going into battle or whatnot. Hey, if I don't see you later, I'll see you in Valhalla. I was like, no shit. Really? See, because that's a Viking thing, and maybe not just exclusive to Viking, but it's a warrior thing. And for the Vikings, at least from the study I've done, for a warrior to die without his sword means he's not going to Valhalla, the great hall where all the warriors go, where everything is good, the drink, the food, etc. And for a warrior to think he's not going to Valhalla, ooh, that's like a sentence to hell. And so I just found it very interesting to hear Valhalla come out of DJ's vocal cords, and I would say that from a modern day warrior's perspective, if you have a warm spot in your heart for Valhalla, I think you could take some, maybe solace is the right word, in that if you're in the full armor of the I am, and you own your authority in the I am, the great I am, that's the greatest weapon of all. And when you walk as one, I am, nothing is more powerful. You have the weapon. It can never be taken from you. So modern day warriors, see you in Valhalla if I don't see you later. Much love, everybody. Own your authority. Study. Stand. Veterans, get the gun out of your mouth. We love you. We love you.